Rodger Wyland back with you. It is a Wednesday, and that means it's go time with head coach Jimmy Patsos. Siena men's basketball team playing well right now. They've only lost one game on the home court, and they're back there Friday night against the Gales of Iona. Coach, good to see you.
You know, I feel much better being in here.
Do you?
I like coming in the studio.
I know you do.
Zach was afraid of me today.
He's sick 2 days.
I listened to your show. I'm
sick 2 days in a row, Zach.
Zach, we know you're listening. You better be ready for game time, Zach. We don't want to hear it.
Talked to your boy John Becker last night.
Yeah, he's doing well this year. Anyways, I have Ryan Harkins with me, my director of basketball. Ryan Harkins, we call him the Shark. He was at Villanova for 2 years. He was on the national championship team. He thought we were making How to Make a Murder 2 when I was bringing him back to the studio. He's like, is it my fault we're not playing well? Are you going to kill me back here in the woods and bury me? I'm like, no, there's really a studio back here. He's like from Philadelphia, Long Island. He's been around. He's a radio junkie. He's a bar stool. And who's your favorite guy?
Barstool, yeah.
And he's a Francesa guy. Rodger's
Francesa guy.
So anyways, he was at Villanova for 2 years. They won the national title, so he can explain why. It was a crazy night in basketball.
That was crazy.
I watched West Virginia, my friend, win. Kentucky.
Yeah.
They missed it, you know.
And then all these teams losing on the road.
Well,
and that's the thing, right?
I listened to you earlier.
On the road. That's
tough
to win West Virginia's games no matter what, on the road.
On the road's tough. You know, that's why Ken Palm says, you know, we have a tough schedule because we've gone on the road. I think we have the 41st toughest schedule in the country, non-conference, because we went on the road and played good teams, even at our level. But it was kind of good for Marquette, although, Shark, you don't think so, right?
It was good for the league. Definitely good for the Big East.
What is it? Yeah. How was it? I want to ask you about Villanova.
Radio, Shark.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jump on there. Come on.
Shark, it's all you. Talk about Villanova a little bit, the experience that must have been the whole year and then the national championship.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, we had a good team. It was definitely, we had two good leaders in Daniel Chefu and Ryan Archidiakono. So it was good. They great senior leadership. Obviously, losing the year before to North Carolina State in the second round definitely was something that we thought about throughout the year. So it kind of, when we got to the NCAA tournament, it gave us something of motivation.
How about Jay Wright? Seems like a good guy.
Yeah, Coach Wright's a great guy. He is a great coach, great guy on and off the court.
Right, Shark? Very
normal. That's, he would definitely follow rule number 4 in our Siena program, which is be normal. So that's really
it is. That's rule 4.
Rule 4.
Rule 4, be normal.
We only have 4 rules. That's the 4th one.
What's the first rule?
Play hard, have fun, stay out of lane 3. In other words, in this day and age, when we grew up, Rodger, it was either you're in or you're out,
Right.
But now you give them 67%. Lane 1's the great, kids that do well in school and all that. Lane 2, I'll give you a little leeway. Lane 3,
not good.
You can't stay in lane. And then rule 4 is be normal. Like hold doors for women and like tip, and do things and clean up after. Just be normal.
What has been the biggest reason that your team has really started to play well here as of late?
Playing better defense. We had to pick the defense up. It was just time. You had to admit that we weren't playing great defense, and we will be tested. This guy's one of the best offensive coaches in the country, Kluse. He's a quirky guy, really good guy, but he can really coach offense. Whether they have A.J. English, and they got John Sevier, 5th year from Fordham. They got Sam Cassell Jr., 5th year. They got a good center. They just get up. They're going to get points up. So you got to get back. That's what I watched about Kentucky, Tennessee. Right after the game, Rick Barnes got on and said it was our transition defense. They got a couple key stops. But you've got to get back on transition defense and then make them earn it. That's what Barnes said. I'm watching like everybody else and learning West Virginia defense. They out-toughed them. They didn't give them transition baskets last night. I didn't watch as much of the Villanova because my friend's Billy Hahn's the assistant at West Virginia, and I just thought Villanova was going to win because they were up like 10 with 5 minutes to go. They just didn't score at the end. But you got to try, pick up the defense, and then, we got 4 seniors. As long as 3 of them play well, we'll be okay. And then I got like 3 bench guys like Khalil, Kadeem, and Santi. As long as 2, you know what I mean, Rodger? We just need 2 out of the 3 and 3 out of the 4 playing well, sort of. We've had that. We hit some spells early where our confidence was shook by playing a tough schedule. We didn't share the ball enough. But on the defensive end, you got to get stops. You guys both know. I mean, Rodger, you've done a million games, whether it's Albany football getting a goal line stand to the Giants couldn't get a stop to the Patriots defense played well. You got to have defense. We were in a lot of games, and at the end of the game, but you guys missed a shot, or you didn't make that shot. No, we didn't get a stop, in my opinion. We didn't get enough stops.
Well, what happened with my fourth grade team last week is
You scored a lot of points. You beat teams by 20.
Yeah,
Darren Donahue told me. Jack
Yeah,
Donahue and Darren Donahue told me.
But I'm a lunatic. My wife told me you are an absolute lunatic on the sidelines, and I think I am. I got to calm down.
So you got to calm down.
I've got to calm down. So
I write the C. Calm down. Calm down. It also means contract extension. But that's not.
I love it.
Then you get that. I write the C there. Now lately I got one with PE, positive energy. It's 2017. You know.
Well, one of their kids drove right down the lane and laid it in. Like I'm teaching team defense and help defense. Kid goes right down the lane, and I sat in the bench and I took my hand and I slammed it down. I'm like, what are you doing? This is fourth grade travel, and you are all worked up. We gave him like this easiest layup of all time.
We did it at St. Peter's. I'm trying to play some young guys. It's funny, Roger.
Hey, are we allowed to ask Nico Clarith updates?
Yeah, he's doing well. He's in school.
Is he okay?
He's doing fine. He's in school. He finished the Habitat for Humanity project and did great on it. I'm proud of him for that because he had to do that over the break, and he did great on it. So yeah, but we're just worried about what's going. He's kind of doing his thing, and that's good. We're happy for him. He's in school.
He's going to walk into your office down the road and go, "Hey, I'm ready to return." You have no idea.
No, we're just like we're glad he's back in school and doing well and things like that. So for now, we're worried about the team, but he's part of our family.
Right.
He's just in his own getting his own stuff together, and that's fine. He's a good guy. We're happy for him, but right now we got to worry about the players in terms of basketball who are with us. And Herder's been practicing well. Like he's like 9. I don't want everybody to be, what's wrong with Herder? Herder's good. I know his brother played well last night.
Really well, yeah.
They've done well. They've pulled out a lot of close games this year, Maryland.
They're a fun team to watch.
I might switch Herder maybe to the 4, but like that guy has a future in our program. It's the 4 seniors,
He understands that.
January 1st, we had the meeting to come to Jesus. See, the Buffalo trip, it's funny that you said people wanted to, I've been wearing a flak jacket since December 1st. I'm not that foolish. Me and my wife, we went to the store and we figured, depending on who's president, when we figured out he was going to be president, we said, well, now we really might as well get him. So, so anyways, it's December to January 1st. We just decided to make a better effort on the defensive end and to kind of roll with what we're doing, the coaches are doing. There's no more like I thought or maybe just do what you're supposed to do. Because Canisius was in first place. That was a good game. Niagara's clearly good. They kicked Canisius' butt the other day. They won the same. Our league's really tough, top to bottom. And
How's Monmouth playing right now?
They're better than everybody else. They're like Vermont. They're the class, although I think Albany wins tonight 75-69.
Whoa.
Oh.
But
heard it here first.
Really?
Look,
why would you say that?
I don't know. I just think they do. I think he's got them playing better than they were, and they got shook a little early out there at Lowell. I know how that worked.
Well, he changed defense.
I texted him for his 250th congratulations win.
He told me that.
So, anyways, I digress, and I think we got the Falcons 27-21. Shark, who do you got?
I'm a Jet fan, but I got to take the Patriots.
I can't go against Brady in this game. I just can't.
I just kind of like what the Falcons are doing. You know what? They play better defense than you think, but he can score. I think they can score, I heard Big Ben might not play anymore, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, we have that in our show here at some point. In fact, we have an interview from him from a radio station.
But to talk about our league real quick, and then, Niagara's playing better. It's the league's tough, but we went to Buffalo and said, we're going to play better. We are going to play better. I'm going to coach better. You have to play better. We have to be better. And I thought, even though we had a couple of tough losses up there, that we took a step there, and then we beat St. Peter's, who's good. But Monmouth, like Vermont, is probably the team to beat. And I don't mean like you. I was listening to you. There's a gap.
Yeah, there was a gap, and I haven't seen Vermont, but I'm told there is.
Well
definitely
coached.
A gap.
They got really good players. They shoot the ball well. They got good inside. They've got a freshman from Rochester who's really
the Lamb
good.
kid he's
tough.
Probably freshman of the year in the conference.
Yeah, he's good. He's City Rock's kid who played really well for him. So it should be an interesting. Is it on TV tonight?
It is on ESPN3. That's why I called Coach Becker last night to just get a little feel, and he told me it's the deepest team he's had and probably the best team he's had. Yeah. That's what he said. So more with Coach Patsos and special guest Ryan Harkins. And I want him to describe what it's like being the director of basketball ops at Siena under Jimmy Patsos next on Big Board Sports 104.5 The Team ESPN Radio.